TNN Motorsports exclusive coverage of the Hardee's Frisco 200 is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. By Hardee, are you ready for some real food? And by BF Goodrich TA Tires, when you're ready to get serious. Full field here at Richmond Raceway. In fact, a lot of cars didn't make the show. We'll give you a rundown of those a bit later, but right now, let's show you the starting lineup for today's third race, the Busch Grand National Series for '93. Rick Mast, winner here in 1990, has the pole. Martin, coming off last week's Rockingham win, is second. The Burton brothers in the second row. Ward on the inside and Jeff next door. Row number 3, Robert Presley won here in September. Joe Nemechek, defending series champ. Row 4, Jim Bound had a strong qualifying run, and Darrell Waltrip, runner-up here last fall. Hermie Sadler's best career start is 9th today. Chuck Bound makes his 8th Richmond race. Jack Sprague out of Michigan, and David Green, 3rd in the point standing. Tommy Houston, who won the first Busch race here in '82, and Tracy Leslie, 5th at Daytona. Row 8, Davey Allison, and Larry Pearson, 2-time Busch champ. Row 9, Tim Fedewa, the Michigan rookie, and Terry Labonte with a solid 4th finish at Daytona. Michael Wrench makes his 5th career start. Tom Peck, 6th last week. Row 11, Curtis Markham, and Bobby Dotter from Chicago. Row 12, Roy Payne, the rookie from Texas, and Ricky Craven makes his 4th Richmond start. Jeff Green, first start for him here since 1990, and Mike Wallace. In row 14, Todd Bodine, crashed heavily at Rockingham, and Rodney Combs, the former dirt track champ. Row 15, Harry Gantz won 3 of the last 4 here. He's way back in 29th today. Eddie Goodson, the rookie from Darlington, South Carolina. Dave Resendiz, the Massachusetts modified ace. Butch Miller out of Michigan back in 32nd. Steve Grissom, the 4th place point man, had trouble in qualifying. And Phil Parsons back in Busch Series ride. Richard Lassiter and Shauna Robinson, the provisional starters, as you look at our diehard starting grid. Well, Todd Bodine had that horrible wreck last week at Rockingham. How's he doing? Let's find out from Glenn Jarrett.
Well, Mike, the statement that you made about him crashing heavily and the footage that we had in the Haviland update doesn't really do that crash justice. This is a steering wheel that Todd Bodine would normally use. Now, not the one he's going to use today, but just like it. See the pitch on the spokes in the steering wheel? This is the steering wheel that he had last week. Look how this thing is bent and mangled. He took a terrific impact. His arms, shoulders, neck, and everything took the impact, the full brunt of that crash. This thing is really mangled up. Now, Todd's body took that impact. Todd, how you feeling today? I know you're stiff and sore. Can you make it?
Yeah, I think so, Glenn. You know, sitting here in the car right now, it's a little sore, a little pressure on the sides. I got a flak jacket on, but once I get out running, you forget all about it. You concentrate on what you're doing, trying to go ahead, go as fast as you can. You know, that's all we can do. We didn't qualify too well with this Fiddle Faddle Chevrolet, but we got to get it up front. I want to say hi to Gene and Robin. I know they couldn't make it this week. My dad's in the hospital. Hopefully get up front.
Okay, good luck. Let's go to Randy Pemberton.
Well, Harry Gant is back here in the 29th position. As you can see, Harry sporting a new full-faced helmet. There he is. They've just fired the engines on the French's Mustard number 7. Of course, the full field coming to life right now. Harry Gant certainly going to be one to beat here today, winner of 3 of the past 4. He doesn't like to qualify back in the field, but I talked to the crew just a moment ago. They have not even changed the car since they rolled it off the trailer. They jacked 1 round of wedge in it, and they're ready to go.
Well, if anybody can win from the back here, it's the Bandit, Harry Gant, in that Ed Whitaker car. Another word about this racetrack here at Richmond. We've said it's a combination of a short track and a super speedway. It's 3/4 of a mile around. It used to be a half-mile short track. It's a D-shaped oval. The whole front straightaway is curved, so every seat has a good view. The banking is consistent, 14 degrees in each of the corners, and 8 feet down the front straightaway. The backstretch is flat and is 860 feet long. You're talking about Todd Bodine's crash. Here's a look at the weather first. 45 degrees, humidity. Won't be much of a factor, and it is mostly sunny. That'll make it feel a little warmer on pit road than 45 degrees. A little bit of a breeze here. That won't help things too much. Back for a moment about Todd Bodine's crash. As we looked at it, and Buddy Neal and I commented on it, you could see that the rear end on his car looked like it was bent forward. That was not the cause of the crash. In fact, the rear end didn't hit anything. A right rear tire went down to cause the car, but the right rear tire, as you look at it here, it's squared up in the wheel well, but it was moved well forward. And Todd told me the car hit the wall so hard with the nose that it bent both the rear axle tubes 4 inches forward from that impact. It was just an unbelievably hard shot. thanks to some real good safety equipment and the fact that that was all a brand new race car, everything on that car was new, he emerged pretty much unscathed. Didn't find out till Monday that he'd broken a rib. Reached over from the couch to set down something on the coffee table, and and his rib snapped. But tough hit.
Mike, a good indication of how tough a lick that was. When you're talking about building that rear end housing, they do that purposely at times to put that camber we're always talking about. It takes a 40-ton press to bend that housing, so it gives you a good idea of what a lick he took for the wheels to really sling around and bend the housing where it was. He took a tough lick at Rockingham, but thank goodness, you know, as safe as cars are, he's back in there ready to go.
And his older brother, Brett Bodine, will be standing by in relief today. You saw Ward Burton's car. Here's Robert Presley getting ready to roll, the circuit's biggest winner last year. You're up on the front row now, sitting inside the Winn-Dixie Ford of Mark Barton. You'll have this view. Get a look at the gauges out the windshield, and there's Mark in the rearview mirror. And Hermie Sadler, the rookie driver. We thought you'd give you a rookie's perspective of this race. He has a new sponsor, the Virginia Department of Tourism. That's their slogan, and that's their 800 phone number, as he's lined up behind Jim Bow. We'll be back with the start of the Hardee's Frisco 200 from Richmond right after this word. They're on the pace lap at Richmond as we watch from TNN's Elmo Cam. Elmo Langley, the NASCAR pace car driver at the wheel of that Pontiac Trans Am, leads them around Richmond Fairgrounds Raceway. Had a big field here for the Busch Grand National Race, and you see a nice crowd on hand today here as well. Here are the drivers who did not make the show. Joe Bessie from up north, Clay Brown, Nathan Butke, the teenager, Chad Chaffin, Tom Hestert, the Camel Lights champ, Jason Keller out of South Carolina, and Alan Russell trying to start his second Busch race did not make the field.
Mike, we see Waltrip coming down, Darrell Waltrip coming down pit road down the back straightaway. Looked like the ignition cut off. That happens quite a bit in these cars. They have dual ignitions. And it looks like for some reason he lost power and he's coming in. They're probably going to change that electrical system over, see if they can get him going again.
Now, they mount a second ignition system, usually over on the right side of the passenger compartment, but can the driver reach that to make a change?
He can. A lot of them are geared up where they can change it, Mike, but some of them have to change the coil under the hood. We see them raising the hood, so I don't know for sure what the problem, but they've got something they got to fix before you get going.
Today's event could pay as much as $199,000 if all contingency awards are claimed. 36 cars will start on this 3/4-mile racetrack. Harry Gant holds the race record set here last year. As Neil pointed out top of the show, he's won 3 of the last 4 races here.
Mike, it looks like they were able to fix it. I saw one guy jump in the window of the car, one under the hood, so they got the ignition changed over. Looks like Waltrip's going to be okay.
Cool day here, Neil, 50 degrees.
One thing to look for here is this: at this particular track, they run the same tire in the summer as they do right now. They've got a good tire for this track, but it's exceptionally cold right now. Don't be misled by that sunshine. It's cold out there, and they're going to have to be tiptoeing the start of this race to get some heat in these tires, so they'll really hook up.
Randy Pemberton?
Well, gentlemen, the power switch was off on Darrell Waltrip's car. The team a little bit frustrated. Every once in a while, this team seems to have a little something that nags them. They came in, they checked the ignition system. We're going to switch over. The power switch was off. That's all it was. But the team still seems a little bit confused. Now they have to come back down pit road with 1 lap to go to replace the hood pins that they left off the car. They can't have Darrell going out there with only 2 hood pins in.
Tough start to the day, but he will have good company at the back of the field. He and Harry Gant among the Winston Cup drivers here that'll have to race from back to front.
When they say power switch, they made it mandatory about a year and a half ago to put an on and off switch that kills all power. I'm surprised that the car cranked the first time and went out on the racetrack and then went off. They're probably concerned about that. That switch is either on or off, and he had it fail partially around the track.
Hood pins in and Waltrip's away. He'll rejoin the field. Green flag this time. 200 laps. 3rd race of the season. Well, can one of the Busch regulars get to victory lane?
I know they're wanting to. You know, they're tired of these Winston Cup guys jumping on them, and they're at a place now where they've got a good shot at it.